I'll give you $1 if you can name any continent.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a continent. If I did, I would say it.
What century are we in?
20.
Yes. If you're driving 60 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you end up traveling?
I don't know. I'm not good at math. 2 hours?
Justin here, and today we're in the beautiful Times Square in New York City, doing a collab with Fleckus Talks. We're just gonna go around and ask people see if they know anything at all. Can you name the continents?
What the f? No? It's like, isn't it like Alaska? Ah, I got it right. You see Alaska? Oh, bitch. It's like, New Jersey? Alaska?
Yeah.
Ah, you see Alaska?
So you got Alaska, New Jersey.
Hawaii?
Yes. What's Obama's last name?
Wait,
The President, Obama. What's his last name? Quick. Just say it.
I don't.
Say it. Say it.
Obama. What is his last name?
I'm asking you. Just say it. First thing.
Obama's last name?
Say it.
What, his first name? I don't know. What is his last name?
What's 6 times 7?
6 times 7?
Yeah.
48.
What does YES spell?
Y-E-S?
Yeah.
Y-E-S. I don't know. What the f? What? You'd say.
What does YES spell?
West, right? West?
7 times 6?
6 times 7.
48. You try to ahead of.
Yes. I'll give you $1 if you can name a single continent.
You say.
Who did we gain our independence from?
I don't know. Didn't they go to war?
Yeah, who did we fight against?
Everybody.
What is Obama's last name?
Obama. Care. Like C-A-R-E.
Obama's last name, the president.
Care.
If you're driving 60 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you travel?
A mile.
Yes. I'll give you this $1 if you can name one continent.
USA. Continent. I don't know.
Congratulations! 60 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you travel?
1 mile.
Who fought in the Civil War?
Soldiers.
Who against who?
America and France.
Who fought in the Civil War?
I don't know that one. I don't know.
Take a guess. Who against who?
Civil War. Yeah. U.S. and the Japanese.
No.
Mississippi?
Mississippi.
You know, just Giuseppe, so I'm gonna base it off that. Giuseppe, G-U-I-S-S-P-E-I. So Mississippi will be spelled M-I-S-S.
Bro, Mississippi, bro.
Mississippi. Oh, Mississippi. M-I.
What's the biggest number that you can think of?
100. I don't know.
How many people are in this mall?
100. A lot.
100 is really the biggest number you can think of. What number comes after 100?
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kardash. All right, back with another lesson, and today's lesson is going to be basically going over. I'm not sure what the title is going to be, but it's going to be about Satan pretty much desires to have you. All right, you know, as you saw in the video that I pretty much showed first, it was pretty much going over, you know, this guy that was just asking, you know, these random average people simple questions. All right, he was asking people what's 3 times 3 times 3, and people couldn't answer it. All right, he asked people what's the capital of the US of A. They didn't know that. All right, he asked you know, he made a statement. He said, how long has it been since World War III has ended? You know, and people, they were like, oh yeah, well, it ended in the 1900s. You know, just simple questions that, you know, the average person should know. They don't know. And basically, now, of course, the ones the stuff that I'm saying you might not see in that video that I've pretty much showed first, because I watched various videos and I just used various examples of the questions that he was asking, and these people couldn't answer it, you know. And pretty much Satan, you know, he uses these people, all right, to come up against you. You know, he uses your family members, all right, even the ones that may know the truth, your family members that may know the truth, even if they don't, you know, he uses them to come up against you, you know, to do some, you know, messed up stuff to you. And hey, you got to cut them off. You know, you got to cut those people off. You know, if they're not willing to, you know, repent or, you know, be sorry for what they've done, or if they, you know, screwed you over in some type of way, you know, and not actually trying to change. You know, you got to cut those people off. You know, then you got the average people out here, you know, that you see every day, you know, whether it's at your job, you know, whether you go to the store, you know, just out handling business, you know, Satan may use these people, you know, to come up against you, you know, for no reason, you know, or, you know, you meet a cashier or whatever, you know, you checking out, you know, and this cashier's, you know, giving you these looks, you know, these this angry attitude towards you and things like that. You know, wherever you go, you know, Satan, you know, uses these people to come up against you, and you know, you got to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know, to get through that. You know, because the average person, you know, when Satan, you know, uses these people, the average person can't really handle it. You know, and pretty much I wanted to go to some examples of situations that I've been through. Like I say, I'll give you this one example. For instance, you know, there was this one incident that I went through. You know, there's this brother of GMS. I believe his channel's name was Brightburn 144. You know, he teaches down here in Oklahoma. You know, I was drive up there. It was like 20 minutes away from me. You know, I drive up there, you know, and pretty much meet with the brother and break down the scriptures with him and listen and learn and things like that. And you know, I was very excited because, you know, I never actually met, you know, any brother, even, you know, IUIC. I never met any of those guys, you know, but I was particularly, you know, set on GMS because that's who I actually follow only. I don't follow nobody else. So, you know, I went up there, you know, my usual. I would go up there at least 1 to 2 hours early, you know, just to get in the spirit. You know, I'll read, you know, and wait for the brother to come and everything. And I remember it was this fly or some type of bug. I don't know what it was, but it was real big and it was black, and it was slamming into my car, you know, constantly. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this bug or whatever the hell it is, you know, just slamming into my car? And you know, it just kept constantly doing it for a very long time, you know, for like probably almost like 30 to 40 minutes. And then, you know, it finally, you know, flew off somewhere away, at least I thought, you know. And it was a very hot day, you know, it's very hot. So I was sweating, you know. I turned my car off because, you know, I didn't want to burn gas, and I let down my window, you know, just to get some air. And then it flew right back in, you know, and I was fighting it off, you know, with my shirt, you know, my jacket and everything. And, you know, and it finally flew out. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's a symbolism, you know. It's a symbolism, you know, for Satan, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to come in and try to, you know, get you off your A game, so to speak, you know, because, you know, I loved, you know, going up, you know, to the camp or whatever, and, you know, listening to the brother and helping them break down the scriptures, you know, and then, you know, various other people come up sometimes, you know, and listen, you know, and I would chime in, you know, and everything, and help with the ministry and the word and everything. It was a beautiful thing, you know. And Satan, you know, he comes in and he tries to stop you. He tries to get you off that. You know, he try to piss you off in many ways, you know, using these people. And one of the various examples was, you know, I would just say, for instance, there was this incident, you know, I'm at work. You know, a lot of these incidences were at work, man. You know, I would, you know, grab the pallets or whatever, you know, downstack the pallets to the boxes to where they need to go. And there was this one Hispanic, this one so-called Hispanic, you know, this Northern Kingdom dude. You know, his job was cleaning the floors, you know, in the store or whatever. and I would walk in, you know, through the double doors to try to clock in and everything. And this dude would get pissed off because, you know, I sort of, you know, stepped on the floor that was wet, you know, but there was no way else around it because the other side of the doors are blocked up because, you know, I go in real early and certain doors won't open. You know, you get pissed off and, you know, you start speaking that language, you know, and things like that, you know. But when the customers come through, he don't have nothing to say to them. He don't say a damn thing, you know. So he did that constantly, you know. And then one day, you know, I'm on my floor, on my aisle, or whatever, you know, and I'm down stacking the boxes, I'm putting it in a certain order, and he comes by with the cleaning machine, right? He knocks my stuff over, you know, and it all falls on the ground, you know. And I look at him, and he looks at me, you know. He knows what he did, you know. And it just pissed me off. It made me, you know, want to put hands on him. You know, those are my thoughts, you know. But I didn't, you know. I let it go. You know, I didn't do anything. You know, I probably should have said something, but you know, I let it go. You know, but it was going on for a little while of him, you know, speaking that little language or whatever. You know, and one day I just walked on his floor. I didn't give a damn what he thought. You know, and if he said something, you know, I really wanted to pop him in the mouth. You know, and everything, you know, but, you know, that he didn't say nothing or anything, you know. And there was other examples, you know, family troubles, you know. I ain't gonna get into it too much, but, you know, family troubles as well, even some troubles with, of course, females as well, you know. I ain't gonna get into that too much, but, you know, Satan tries to use these against you to try to piss you off, try to make you act irrational, you know, to do something that you can't come back from. All right, you know, I had issues, of course, in my past, you know, before the truth. You know, a lot of times I look back, you know, them demons start trying to mess with you, you know, about, you know, things that I should have done, things that I wish I would have done, you know, when it came to dealing with, you know, 2/3 niggas, you know, so to speak. And, you know, it'll mess with your mind and everything like that. So, yeah, you know, just various examples like that. You know, Satan will use people to try to come up against you, you know, for no reason. You know, I remember one time I was had to, you know, pallet jack, you know, pulling it and everything behind me, you know, to get through the aisle, you know. And this nigga woman, you know, she lied and said that I hit her with the pallet. You know, she was, you know, trying to act all tough, you know, talking, you know, like she gonna do something. You know, and I turned around, I'm like, hey, did I hit you? You know, if I did, I'm sorry, you know. You know, she didn't acknowledge it. You know, little examples like that. You know, Jake just piss you off, man. You know, these 2/3, man, they are so, you know, throughout those experiences, you know, and some that I haven't really mentioned and went into, you know, Jake and Eve, these 2/3, man, they're uncompassionate, they're unloving, all right? They don't, they're inconsiderate, all right? They're hateful. All right, they hate their own people. Okay, all right. You know, and you know, in the place that I work at, all right, I see a lot of lesbians. I see lesbianism going on. I see homosexuality amongst, of course, Edomites, Jake as well. You know, I caught a Jake up here. You know, was wearing a dress. You know, had long hair to his back. All right, you see Eve. All right, Eve dealing with Edomites. Okay. There was another story I'm not gonna really get into, but basically, you know, I heard from somebody that she didn't like Jake, and it was true, you know, and just the folly, the stupidness, you know. I mentioned this part, you know. I remember one time texting this, you know, this one chick, you know, this Eve, you know, about, you know, just what she believed in. I just wanted to see where her mind was, you know. I didn't go into any scriptures and do all that stuff. You saw the devil, none of that stuff, you know. I just asked, you know, what's your belief? You know, she said you know, I asked him if she believed in the Bible or whatever. She said no. She said I wouldn't believe in a book that brings my people down, you know. But little did she know that this book is all about her. This is her history, you know. And then she claimed that she was an agnostic, you know. And an agnostic is basically, you know, someone that claims that don't believe. Well, I wouldn't say they don't believe, but they need evidence, you know. But she said I would never believe in a book that would bring my people down. But here it is, you know, being an agnostic, it goes back to an Edomite. You know, I looked up the history and everything. It goes back to an Edomite, man. All right, and you know, it's just the stupidity amongst our people, and how Satan will use these people to try to come up against you. you know, and try to piss you off, make you do something you can't come back from, and you got to be on your watch about that. So, and I'm gonna just get a few scriptures here. So I'm gonna start with St. Luke chapter 22, and we'll start at verse 31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So yeah, that's what he wants to do. He don't, you know, Satan don't like you when you studying, when you're reading, when you going to the camps, you know, breaking down the scriptures with the brothers and learning and actually, you know, giving it your all to repent. He don't want you to do that. So he's gonna do everything in his power to get you out and try to distract you, you know. And I will say this, you know, over time, you know, it was happening constantly. All right, this stuff wasn't happening like in between months or in between weeks. This was like constantly. It was just bugging me, man. And it was just getting to the point where, you know, I just got weak, and, you know, I honestly fell a little bit, to be honest. I fell for a little while, and it was very hard for me to, you know, kind of get back up. But the thing of it is I never cursed Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah in his name. I never blamed Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah, because that's what the average Jake would do. You know, he would blame his problems and his issues on the stuff that he went through on the Lord, man. You know, and that's not right, you know, considering the fact that, you know, we went off, you know, we got put in slavery, you know, we got made a mockery, you know, still going through it to this day. You know, and we deserve, you know, whatever comes our way, whether it's good or bad, you know. So I never done that, you know. I still believed, you know. I watched the videos, I tried watching the exhortation videos. I did that, try to pick myself back up, you know, doing things that I like to do, just going out for a walk, you know, trying to clear my mind of all the bullshit, you know, that was going on, you know. And it was just very intense, you know. And I give another example. I remember one of the ops managers that's at the store that I work at, you know, I remember it was, you know, some issue, you know, going on with some certain product or whatever, and basically, you know, I guess it was something that I must have forgot, and, you know, he was like, you know, I know you can do it or whatever. He was saying something like, I know you. He said that I know you don't, you know, have any problems or issues. You don't cause issues and stuff up here. He said, I know you got common sense. I know you got common sense. I know you can do it or whatever. And, you know, in my mind, my flesh was telling me, you know, I'm like, what do you mean by common sense? But these guys, they were kind of, you know, I didn't really like them that much. But, you know, it was basically, you know, the thoughts that came into my mind. It was like, you know, what do you mean by common sense? Are you trying to call me stupid or something? You know, it was, you know, it's because it was just a buildup of so many things that was going on, and but I didn't do that. I didn't say that, you know. And you know, over time, I'm sorry, I'm slacking from all over the place. It's just, you know, forgive me. I'm trying to get through these little examples and everything, but I will say this, you know, over time, it did start to die down, you know, so to speak. Like the Mexican guy or whatever, you know, that's up there cleaning the floors and everything, you know, everything just died down like that. You know, it was as if, you know, I walked through one day and he was real nice for some reason. It was strange, you know. He was real nice, you know. He didn't have a problem with me coming through the double doors. You know, he actually helped me from time to time. And even the ops managers, you know, when I was got upset because he was talking about, I know you got common sense, I know you can do it, you know, as if something was wrong with me. I thought as if something was wrong with me, or, you know, if they were trying to call me stupid, you know, Satan try to get in your mind and trying to, you know, mess with you like that, you know. But I didn't do that, you know. But you know, we're actually pretty cool on the level, like, we don't know each other or anything, but, you know, we actually, you know, respect each other in a sort of way, you know. And so you got to use wisdom, you know. Sometimes you got to take the low. Sometimes you got to, you know, just take it, you know. You say it's not always good to act off of repost emotions, you know. It was the most intense thing, and it was actually the most lowest I've ever felt in my life. You know, I've been through some crazy things, but this was the worst, you know, and I think it was all test, you know, it was test how I was gonna react, because if I would have reacted how I wanted to, if I would have put hands on somebody, you know, if I would have spoke the way I did, you know, would Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah be pleased with my ways, you know? If I put hands on somebody, you know, Yahweh Shah didn't do that, you know, when he was, he had to fulfill prophecy, you know, when he was getting smoked, you know, he was getting spat on, you know, got the crown of thorns put in on the crown of his head and everything, you know, and they were mocking him. You know, he didn't fight back. You know why? Because he had to fulfill prophecy. He had a duty to fulfill, you know, and we have a duty to fulfill, you know, doing these videos and going out on the highways and byways and preaching his word. And if we were to act out of emotion and off of reaction according to our flesh, you know, we'll end up with a record. We'll be in jail. All right, we'll lose everything we got. We'll probably lose our car. We'll lose our house. All right, we could, because we can't pay on it. All right, it'll be harder for us to find a job. Okay, so these things are very important, you know. So those are the examples. So Satan desires to have you, man. He wants to get you out of this truth. And hey, man, you gotta, you know, stay prayed up. All right, stay studied up. You know, so you don't fall for those things. You know, and it was a miracle. It was a blessing that I made it through all those hellish months, man. Those hell-ridden months, man. I made it through. You know, everything's cool. I didn't hit nobody. I didn't do anything to nobody. You know, people that was giving me shit and getting on my nerves, some of them, you know, the ones that would give me, some of them left. You know, they don't work there no more. And then some of the other ones, you know, maybe they didn't really mean anything by it. You know, maybe it was just, you know, Satan using these people, and then Satan uses them. You know, it was as if they didn't remember what they did to me. You know. It's just crazy, but you know, hey, these things are true, man. Scriptures is true. You know, Satan, you know, he desires to have you. Let's read that again. So this is St. Luke chapter 22 and verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. It says, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. So yeah, man, I was very low in the spirit, you know, going through it. I was seeing 144 everywhere. You know, in the stores, in a store that I worked at, you know, the prices, even the little barcode number that matches with the product number. You know, it was 144, 777. You know, I was seeing it everywhere. You know, and that was very encouraging. You know, that the Lord is with me. You know, He's dealing with me in a way. You know, and that, you know, He ain't forsaking me. You know, He knows what I'm going through, and you know, I just have to endure it, you know. And I ain't gonna say, you know, things just went super great for me after that. You know, everything still stayed the same, so to speak. It's just things had died down. And, you know, it was, you know, at first I didn't think, I was like, how am I gonna get through this? You know, it's just very difficult. How am I gonna endure these thoughts, you know, this rage that I got inside of me that I can't unleash? Because if I do it, it's just gonna land me in more trouble. You know, so sometimes you just got to take the low. Sometimes it's not good to, you know, say what's on your mind. Sometimes you just got to let things happen, you know, and let things pass, you know. So let's get let me see, actually let me get Proverbs. I'm gonna get Proverbs first. Let me get that. Let me get Proverbs chapter 17 and verse let me see, in verse 13. All right, so it says, whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. And the reason I'm gonna read that is this one testimony that I had. It was another issue I was having that I haven't explained yet, but it was this boss guy. You know, he was this manager, whatever, so to speak. All right, he worked. Basically, what he handled was the what do you call it? The paychecks or whatever, you know, the paychecks. You handle the paychecks, you know, your work hours, whatever. He'll, you know, pretty much give you how much money that you know, get from, you know, working your hours or whatever. But basically what he did was he told one of my managers, all right, one of my managers that was over me, that, you know, while it was a holiday season or whatever, and he was wanting us to do overtime, you know, and he basically was telling my manager, you know, why don't we have them stay here, you know, and work this overtime, and we don't pay them, you know. And my manager actually told me what that guy said, you know, and that pissed me off real bad. And and after a while, you know, not too long, you know, come to find out he had a heart attack and he died, you know. And hey man, Tawada Yahweh Bashim Al Shah for that, because I was mad about that. You know, that make you want to, you know, do something to that guy, because you don't mess with a man's money like that. You know, we got bills to pay. You know, we got to buy food. You know, things like that. And you not gonna pay me? Are you serious? You know, but the Lord took him out. You know, Tawada Yahweh Bashim Al Shah for that. You know, but if I would have acted off my impulses, you know, you already know what goes on. You know, after that. All right, so. Let's read that again. It's Proverbs chapter 17, verse 13. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. And yeah, so you guys just got to depend on the Lord, you know. Depend on the Lord. He'll do everything. Okay, so let's get Romans. Let's get Romans. I think we'll start at chapter. Let me see. No, actually, let's get Ecclesiastes. Lock in. I'm running out of time. Forgive me for that. You know, I do a part 2. You know, Lord willing. Let's get Ecclesiastes. Where Proverbs is. There it is. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 16. All right, it says, "Then said I, wisdom is better than strength." All right, it says, "Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard." So yeah, man, you know, wisdom, the wise men, you know, are the ones that know this truth, knowledge, his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, we're the wise, all right, and we're despised, all right, we're hated, all right, nobody likes us, man. All right, women despise us, you know, the next man, you know, he despises us, the average man, you know, average Jake, you know, he despises us. You know, because of why? Because they love vanity. All right, they're into the vanity, man. Women are into vanity. All right, they're like vain people. You know, they're not into people that has knowledge, that has the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Somebody with sense. You know, it's nowadays. I would say this: nowadays, a woman will be more susceptible to getting with a homosexual than to get with a man of the Lord. Or to get with the Jake that has some sort of sense, man. You know, that's just honest fact, man. And, you know, this world is so ass backwards nowadays, man. You know, so let's continue on. It says, "Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools." So yeah, man, these fools, man, these celebrities. All right, these vain jakes, you know, that got it in this world, they got more of a voice than we do. All right, so reading on, it says, "Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good." Okay, so yeah, so the point being here is that wisdom is better than weapons of war. All right, so I had to use wisdom. You know, I had to move by wisdom. All right, I had to think a lot. You know, I couldn't just act because of how I felt, man. All right, when they was talking to me and telling me that, you know, I know you got common sense. I know you got common sense, you know, because I may have messed up something or whatever, which I ain't gonna get too deep into it. But if I would have said, you know, what I thought on my mind, you know, they could have probably painted a target on my back to try to get me fired. You know, they're probably trying to mess with me, you know, and things like that. Okay, if I would have acted, you know, off my emotions and how I felt with that Mexican dude, if I would have put hands on him, you know, I wouldn't be working there no more. I would lose this car. I lose, you know, where I live, all my possessions, a lot of it, and you know, I'd be doing time. I couldn't really find a job, you know. So you got to think about these things. You got to use wisdom, you know, because Satan, he'll use these wicked average jakes, all right, these average, you know, these heathens, you know, to come up against you and piss you off and distract you, to get you off your A game, man. You know, because he don't want you to repent. He don't want you to make it out here, man. You know, so Satan, he desires to have you, man. He comes and he goes, man. You know, so everything pretty much cooled down. You know, people acting like the everyday normal people. You know, acting nice and everything. you know. So yeah, now let's get Romans. Let's get Romans. Yeah, it's Romans chapter 8 and verse 2. Look like I'm running out of time a little bit. So let's get Romans chapter 8 and verse 2. It says, "For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua have made me free from the law of sin and death." It says, "For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh." It says, "Yahweh sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit do mind the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." So yeah, man, you know, I had to think, man. I had to choose, like, hey, am I going to act off my flesh, or am I going to act off the Spirit? You know, you got to use wisdom. You know, I understand we make mistakes sometimes, and you know, things like that, you know, but hey, it was very intense, man. Very, very intense of what I went through, you know, because it was constant, you know, you know, it was just bugging me, you know. I even had sleep paralysis. A lot of sleep paralysis was happening to me, you know. Some days I would go have a good night's sleep, right? I'll wake up, you know, to get ready for work, and I feel super exhausted, you know, just out of nowhere. I'm like, it felt like I never even closed my eyes and rested, you know, at all. You know, I was going through that. You know, I was even hearing voices, you know, I was hearing a man laughing, you know, when I was going through sleep paralysis. I heard it was a male voice that was angry. He was just like, that's what I was hearing, you know, when I was getting pinned down at a certain moment. But I'm gonna have to cut it off here. Salaki about that. I'm gonna have to do a part 2, and I'm running out of time. So stay tuned for that. So shalom.